Hello everybody. I'm going to show you how I hoop just the stabilizer and attach the fabric afterwards. We'll talk a little bit about the alignment stitches. So I don't tend to do an awful lot of dark fabric embroidery. Most of my embroidery I'm able to align everything and I can see through the stabilizer and fabric here, and that helps me align everything up. First apologies of the day is I am very sorry about the state of my hoops. They're functional and I've got past the stage of worrying about the fact that they're grubby because they've been sprayed numerous times with temporary adhesive spray. So that's what I do. I add my first piece of stabilizer. Now note, I've got plenty of room around here. Don't cut stabilizer short. Be generous, buy a huge amount and then you won't get so paranoid about wasting it. Well, that's my theory anyway, but obviously I do a lot of embroidery. Now this is a Husqvarna hoop for my Epic machine and it measures 120 by 120. So I'm going to tighten that, and after I've tightened it, the first thing I do is turn it over and I make sure that all the corners are nice. Now this one here is a little bit bubbly, so probably because the clasp is on that side. Let's tighten that a little bit. Now, one of the first lessons I had in machine embroidery, which was probably about 14 years ago, was that you should always push this bit slightly. It shouldn't be flush with the hoop, it should just be proud a tiny bit. So that looks fine. Now, this is where the nasty temporary adhesive comes along, and be sure to only use this well away from phones, computers and grandchildren. So I spray that like that quite generously. And when I remove my embroideries, I often have little pieces left. And here are two little pieces. When I'm doing embroidery, like we're going to do today, on silk dupion, as you know, I'm rather a silk fanatic. This is how I do the second layer with my pieces that I've collected, and I iron these in very carefully with my fingers and make sure that they're attached. Now this is where the June tailor comes in handy. That is a mark there, and there's a mark there, and there's a mark there. Let's move that across, and because I've actually laid that on the grid, I can see where my design is going to stitch out. Okay, the clasp is here, and you say, well, that's not the center of your hoop. Well, remember, the center of your hoop often isn't the visible center because sometimes the top bit is not included. Now, if you were going to do just one design, I would attach my piece of ivory silk dupion here, but if you're actually going to align it and take advantage of my outline alignment stitches, then you would take this to your machine and stitch out the alignment, which is what we're going to do now.